rehab of Pittsburgh's Swindell Bridge is moving forward. The bridge is shut down this week as workers prepare for a month-long closure this summer. The bridge connects the city's Perry South and Northview Heights neighborhoods. It was first closed last summer for emergency repairs. Channel 11's Lori Hoy has more.
Starting today, Swindell Bridge is now closed for 5 days to vehicle traffic so a contractor can get a closer look underneath at the condition of the steel beams. Construction workers put up road closed signs Monday morning at each end of the Swindell Bridge, while temporary work platforms are installed underneath.
We're building scaffolding underneath here for to get some field measurements on some repairs that need done. Then we'll decide how much of the steel is deteriorated and be able to replace it.
The bridge connects Perry South and Northview Heights over the Parkway North. According to the City Department of Mobility and Infrastructure, this is a $540,000 project to restore deteriorated steel beams at the west end of the bridge. There was an emergency closure from July to September last year when rock, sediment, and liquid concrete came crashing down onto vehicles below. A lane restriction and two-way stop signs are currently in place. The bridge has been undergoing regular routine inspections. We talked with Mike McClafferty with Advantage Steel and Construction.
It seems like it carries a lot of traffic. Just from me being here this morning, it seems like there's a lot of people turning around after we've got it set up. So I think it's definitely needed with the fire department on the other side there.
The installation of new steel beams is tentatively scheduled for late June, when the bridge will close again for about 28 days. A full rehab of the bridge is planned with preliminary engineering beginning this year. Even with the detours, people who live nearby welcome the work.
I'm good, 100%.
For now, only one sidewalk is open to pedestrians and bicyclists. The bridge will reopen on Friday to vehicle traffic. From Perry South, Lori Hoy, Channel 11 News.